got some video of it. It's great. But what beat us out, and I think you can probably see some of the video on Todd Giffen's channel, because Todd Giffen was out there. He goes to stuff. That guy, he's being hit real hard, probably like me, like a lot of UTIs, and he goes to stuff. He goes to protests. I tried to get out there, but I just couldn't get anybody to take care of my dog. I couldn't, it was just too last minute. My parents really, they don't believe that this is as bad as I make it out to be. They kind of believe me that something's going on, but they don't believe it's as bad. It's bad. This is bad. So non-TIs, if you want to leave a comment like jerking around and stuff like that, that's fine. I'm gonna move past you, and that's what I mean. We've got to just move past these jerks. We've got to move past infiltrators. We've got to move past people commenting and saying you need to take your meds and stuff like that. No, you're gonna wear an aluminum foil hat. Just get past those people. They're idiots. They're murdering themselves for a little bit, for trinkets and money and metal. These people who are remote killing families with microwave weapons. They get cars and stuff like that. That guy's turning around. He wasn't going anywhere. That's the guy with the running lights behind me. It's just when you become a targeted individual, and a lot of TIs, you'll understand this. You just know. You know when somebody's a gang stalker. You know when something's really out of place. People act normal. They drive around. They don't drive behind you really slow. And why these people do that, why these people drive behind you slower with one light, is because they're picking up stuff. They're trying to surveil, to basically, I can't think, they're really shutting down my mind. They're covering up my short-term memory with EMF. So they're playing around with my short-term memory, and that's what you use to talk, because you're trying to think of what you're going to say next. But anyway, they're trying to confirm their technology, because they're mind directing and mind manipulating with wireless frequencies and directed energy, and they're trying to confirm it. So that's what all this patrolling is about. Like DHS fusion centers may be told something different. These citizens may be told something different. But in the creamy middle center of it, where they're using directed energy to just fry our nervous systems and fry our minds to maybe make a pinky move or something like that. They get these people to patrol and do box surveillance on you, so they can basically, confirm that their technology is working, that you're going somewhere that they're putting in your head or something like that. So it's research and development for these technologies above all. That's the main crux of it. And the people who are doing it, like the guy who is remote microwaving me. Doing the V2K chatterboxes, I guess the shift workers, because they do it in shifts, and then they automate a lot of it. But the guy who's doing it to me, he probably doesn't even know. He's collecting data, and he's stupid. He's just collecting money. But up at the top, they're really doing this to confirm and to perfect more mind control, more manipulation with directed energy weapons of our neural systems, like your brain. Of like our brains. So we've got it, and there's a sheriff across the way. When I start videotaping stuff, they actually do it to me more. They actually do this shit to me more. And I guess that's because it really doesn't work, because DHS fusion centers have a rule that if you're videotaping something and you're a person of interest, it might be dangerous, so they need to surveil you more. So you can actually use this if you're a targeted individual. If you're videotaping stuff, they kind of want to get in front of the camera and do these things so that you'll look crazy, because it's a big deal to discredit you, because there's billions of dollars that go into this directed energy weapon experimentation. So I mean, like, I feel so small on this. Like, I know that a lot of you guys, on the videos and on the conference calls, you've helped me, and a lot of people have helped me too. But this is like, billions of dollars in military-industrial complex, people not stopping murdering families. This is serious. This is really serious, and I want to get that across. Because I know I get on these videos. I want to remain hopeful, but I'm sitting here, and every day my body is worn down more and more. Like, more and more. Here's another stoplight in front of me. Here's another light that stopped in front of me. That's fucking 3 lights. What? Okay, I'm gonna videotape this guy. He's looking at me. Why are you looking at me? I don't know. I don't know. What you doing? Hey. Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep videotaping them. Because he's, like, mad at me because he was trying to, like, get around me for the light or something like that. I don't really care. I'm not gonna keep videotaping him. But, people are insane. Like, this is making people insane, and it's making the people who are really being murdered and attacked by these people and gang stalked and driven around, it's making us look crazy, but we're being murdered. So I just want to, I want to give a shout out to anybody in these agencies who, like, gives a shit about your country. Please help us. Please help us. I mean, we're getting on the people who are experiencing the gang stalking and everything like that. You know, we need severe medical help. We need help mentally, because we have brain injuries from electromagnetic weapons. I mean, directed energy weapons. We don't need psychological help because we're just mentally ill. And we're trying to help each other, but we're not qualified, and we're also all being murdered. And then we go to a hospital to get help, and we're thrown into a mental institution. And you have people just like this guy. I mean, he was like, I was driving to this light, and he's like trying to get around me or something. The light's red, and then he pulls up on me to give me some kind of angry look. I'm just gonna go ahead and videotape him again. He's like scratching his nose or something. See, this is what they do because they want to discredit me. They want to discredit all TIs, so they get people to make you look like you're just videotaping somebody for no reason or something. And I'm just going to videotape him. He's like picking his nose, rubbing his nose. That's cool. I just want to kind of get the camera in his face. You know, I want to be aggressive on this. I don't want to be crazy or violent. But I'm going to start being very assertive. They're murdering my family. My mom this weekend came in and she was limping. My mom was limping, and you know, I have a huge worry that they're experimenting on my family too, which I have a theory that, you know, it's kind of a natural progression because you're around your family a lot. But then I think it also has to do with DNA. You know, they're testing people, and they want to see what somebody with similar DNA or similar blood type, you know, how they'll react to the directed energy weapon. So it has a lot to do with genetics, the genetics of the people. So they're going to go ahead and attack your family, you know. And she came in and she's limping, and she's like, oh, my hip just started hurting, and she's like, she laid around all weekend, and my mom never lays around. She's always doing something, you know. And she's like, yeah, I think the doctor said it was my sciatica, and you know, she said it was her sciatica in her back or whatever. But they're hitting me, and I know that they're fucking around with my parents, so I'm very, very worried that they've just started hurting them very badly. And this is what I'm saying. Like, everybody who does not believe me, or you want to put a comment in, like, this is a good one to put it on, because I'm very angry. And I am gonna put the video out. I don't care. Like, I am gonna put the video out. This is genocide of families in the world. So I gotta scream loud, guys. Joel 2:2 in the Bible, sound the horn or something like that. Can't remember it. Go look it up though. Joel 2:2. I've got to scream it out, guys. And every TI, we need to say it intelligently. Today I'm not able to say it intelligently, but at least I'm behind a camera. You know, I'm very angry. I'm not yelling it. Like, if I went to a policeman, I wouldn't say it like this. Or, you know, if I called the FBI or something like that, I don't talk like this. But to you guys, to everybody out there on YouTube, I want to be very, very assertive and aggressive with this, because it's very serious. It's very serious, and they've been doing it to me for decades. I mean, 7 years that I know of. But I look back, and you know, I had really physical ailments that didn't make sense, and gang stalking way before the high-pitched sound started. The high-pitched sound started about 7 years ago. And this, like, my body can't take the torture anymore. Like, I mean, they're fucking with my adrenal system while they're murdering and raping me, while they're getting people like circus bears on tricycles around me. You know, and like, I didn't get to see my parents at all this weekend when they came in from Florida. like didn't get to see him. I mean, I talked to him a little bit. My mom needed me to do something. I could not. Yesterday she texted me and she's like, hey, I got a job for you that I need help with, and I could, like, my body could barely move. I was like hanging off a chair with my head shaking because my nervous system is fried. Like, it's fried from these weapons. And like, I mean, I'm not telling y'all my defenses don't work, guys, but when these people, they have infinite amounts of time. They're just sitting there shift working on this equipment. They have a lot of it automated, and they're not getting caught, so they just keep doing it, and they keep making money. It's a self-propelling system because they're making money from experimenting on us. So they don't really get tired because they're doing shift work. They consider it a job. Like, they're so delusional and satanic that they actually consider murdering and raping a person, like actually raping somebody's mind, which is the worst offense in human history that we've ever had. They consider it a job and make a lot of money doing it. These contractors are making a lot of money. They're being given hundreds of thousands, if not millions and millions of dollars from the DoD to experiment on people in every country. I just know, I mean, I know about America, so it comes from the DoD, there's so many agencies, but, you know, the CIA, the DoD, and then they're trickling down. The NSA is involved in the surveillance. So it's a compartmentalization of all these agencies murdering its people, because our military-industrial complex has put out, basically to the military and the military-industrial complex, that the whole world is a theater of war now. Like, everywhere is a theater of war now. It's in their documents. It's just... Please look up some Dr. Brian Karlstrom. I don't say it is good, you know, and I'm just, you know, enraged because I'm in so much pain. You know, the entrainment I keep down with Dave CD a little bit, they can affect my emotions. Like, I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago. You know, it's hard to speak about this stuff intelligently, and it seems to feeds into their program to keep it running and discredit us, because when you're being murdered, you don't really want to speak intelligently. You want to defend your life. You want to defend your life, and you want to shake people out of their apathy because your family's being murdered. And so they get off on this, and they discredit us, because when a human being's being murdered, they're not going to be very eloquent. And, you know, I have to say, you know, the TI community and people who are speaking out on this are just millions of miles above any of these people, because they actually do, while they're being murdered. And I've done it, you know, occasionally, but I want to make an angry video, guys. You know, say what you will, but this is what I feel right now. This is what I feel, and I feel like we've got to shout it out. And I like Dr. Horton's attitude, where she's not taking shit, and this is evil, and it's corrupt, you know, and they're murdering children, and it's not something that, you know, we can just kind of lean back on and talk about casually. This is a very serious thing where families are being tortured. So, you know, I just want to do it like this. Leave your comments below. You know, I want to hear your feedback. You know, do you think I'm too angry or whatever? I mean, I don't really care. I would do it this way anyway, but I do want to hear what y'all have to say, because I know that we're trying to put on a good face. I know that we're trying to calm down and, you know, explain this stuff. But right now I can't. My spine feels like it's coming out of the back of my neck. My brain, it feels like, you know, my visual space that I think in has been basically covered up by EMF. And what they can do, and this is to target individuals, and I mean, it's been a long time that they've been playing around with this stuff with me, but that, like, I'll be thinking something to my visual space, they see it, but I don't. So, like, my own thoughts, they're taking, and they see on their output whatever the signals that they're getting that I'm trying to think, and it's like faded. It's so faded in my visual cortex, and they're responding on V2K to my visual output. So I can't see it. They're covering up my visual space with electromagnetic frequency energy, and then on their end, they can get the signal and put it out on a monitor, so they can see it more clearly than I can see my own thoughts. Like, you know, I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking mad, because this is the biggest rape that's ever happened in human history. This is the most rape in human history that there's ever been. and like I'm really upset. Like I'm a Christian fellow, I'm a Christian guy, I believe in God,